There's another mini deer species called the dik-dik. It's a South African one. A dik-dik. Let me do my colors. There's also one that is, I think that one is Asian. It's called the Kanchil. I think that one is closely related to the Poodoo. Of the dik-dik and the Kanchil. I didn't choose those names. Oh, Chubalu. Water deer's cool, yeah. There are several deers that have fangs, like some of these small ones, like the Kanchil, for example. I think that one has fangs as well. You usually find them in like water grazing species. Alright, I actually forgot. I'm just gonna assume I paused it somewhere where the next piece drops in a good place. Otherwise, so be it. Okay. Let's get back into the groove smoothly here. No risky business. I mean, digging could be... I have a feeling it's more like ripping off things that are on the plants in the water. But I'm not positive. Just an observation that I have made. One of my favorite, like antelope-esque animals is the zygar. It's a deer antelope, whatever you wanna categorize it as, with an like a tapir-like trunk. Looks funny. Oops. Not sure how far I want to take this today. At the very least, 4, 4, 4, 4. Beyond that, I have to see how awake I am. Like for how long I can make good decisions. It's always a big challenge. Kind of fun to try to figure out the least risky setups. This is not good, for example, because I'm creating at the very least one L or J piece dependency. And I knew that right away. That was not the optimal placement. But that said, like the level of safety that I'm playing at is like way over what I have to play. Indecision there. Not liking this. I did that for no good reason. That is a really good piece. Perfect sequence. Not perfect, because I could have opened up the thingy here. Oh, that fits. That was a very good sequence. Didn't get super high, so all good. Good one. I had heard that one before. It doesn't even need the second part. I prefer it without any explanation. A limbo champion walks into a bar. Done. I didn't want to double flip that one. Yeah. I think it's more than a party game. I think this is a competitive sport as well, where they have Limbo World Championships and stuff. Oh wait, did I not read the entire thing? It's my problem with talking while playing Tetris. Apologies. Oh, yodeling? What the heck? Ah, we're analyzing the joke. Yeah, that's why it works so well. For that setup. Good night, Chubaloo. Thanks for providing video, even though I haven't even checked it out yet. Very yodeling. Fake Ben, you're trolling. Yeah, you're trolling. And that's fun. Don't worry about it, it's late. Or should I try to explain it? I haven't read everything that Muffin wrote, so I might just say the exact same things. Try to explain, okay. So Limbo is, if you will, a dance. I think that's the primary categorization. And it's a dance where you have to go under a bar without touching the bar. Or maybe there are versions where you like have to not make the bar fall off something. Anyway, as the competition or game progresses, the bar gets lower and lower, round by round, and more people drop out because they start hitting the bar, making it fall to the ground. Because they can't get low enough without touching the bar. And that means they lose the game of that limbo dance. Now there's the subversion in the joke, because there are many XY walks into a bar jokes. It's a very common setup, right? And that's why what that joke uses. It subverts your expectation. Because you're expecting something to happen in a bar. But no, it's a different bar. It's the limbo bar. Does that explain enough? You are welcome. I'm still not sure if you're playing with us. If so, then good job. I believe you. Okay. Then I still believe you. This is Ori, or that's the sequel of Ori. I was about to say, I have never heard this song in the OG Ori soundtrack. Which I have been playing mostly in Beat Saber. It's where I know Ori and the Blind Forest from Beat Saber. Yeah, I mean that's the joke. That is, if you break it down, the entirety of the joke. It looks like a nice atmospheric game. Reminds me of Hollow Knight. Ish. Just not as hollow. Not as dark in terms of style. I gotta remember that I have a counter for the full clears, I believe. Did I make that? I think I made that. But I don't remember what I would have called it. Oh, bad decision. Come on. There we go. got a little bit too dicey for my taste there. Or maybe I'm just not gonna get any full clear today. It's also an option. No, please no more yodeling. Not the biggest fan of the wider yodeling context. Nice symmetry. Let's keep up the symmetry here. For no good reason. That's a specific kind of like musical and beyond culture that I think is not the greatest. There's a lot of folk and nationalism involved. Maybe I'm interpreting too much into this. I tend to. Techno. Is that Fränkisch? I mentioned that in the last stream. Franconia is a funny area of Germany. But it comes with some, again, folk and nationalist traditions that I just generally don't like. Don't like tribalism, if you want to break it down to what irks me about it. Now, for me, it's usually my complaints on a like very conceptual basis. It usually doesn't really concern the actual thing, it's more the mechanism behind it, like why does this exist in the first place? Those are usually the things that I take issue with on a very, like, idealistic basis. I hope this works. And I say all that while being a big fan of, like, Japanese culture as like an umbrella term, which makes me quite the hypocrite. Getting dicey again. I do not like this. That was close to optimal there. I don't know if it has actually any practical implication or like history like that. I think it's just a folk custom. I feel like if you tried to give it that kind of meaning, to me that felt a little like retconning the thing. That there has to be a reason why they do it like this. I don't think everything has to have that kind of practical reason. Oh wait, what was I thinking there? What the hell? Hey now. Actually have to start focusing. Is that the man with the machine gun? Not a fan of machine guns, but that's a good song. Let me just say I will remain critical about that explanation. For the reasons stated. It just has this aura of being retconned. I can't describe it any further. It just feels that way to me. I don't exactly buy that explanation, yeah. It does make sense, right? But also, yeah. That's the thing with potentially retconned explanations. They are designed to make sense because you already have the conclusion from the get-go. Now the question would be, are there any like South American indigenous tribes where something similar is known from? You could kind of draw some parallels. Is there South American yodeling? Is there Himalayan yodeling? You have the Mongolian throat singing. That's similar but different, I would call it. So that would be a pro-argument-ish. Hey Tolstoy. Now I want to listen to those other examples. Don't ask me what I was thinking there. Hey, my inputs are not going through. Not cool. I used to have this. I think it was from. Was it? I think it was from the Bertelsmann publishing group. I had this. What was it called again? Like Atlas of the languages of the world. was a collection on like 2 or 3 CD-ROMs. It was very interesting, where you had language samples of all kinds of different samples, just short samples, and that was it. That was the content of the CD-ROM. Maybe something like that was in there, but I don't remember. Yes. I used to watch sumo wrestling all the time back on Eurosport. I have not been keeping up. I know that a lot of non-Japanese sumotori have joined, like a lot of Mongolians, some East Europeans. And that's the like general, I guess, the cultural pride thing has gone down a little bit in Japan in terms of sumo. Obviously, because when other nations suddenly come into your kind of sacred cultural good, then the character changes. No, there have been non-Asian Yokozuna before. Akebono is Hawaiian. He was the first one. Unless Akebono like is disgraced because he went into wrestling and kind of didn't follow the traditional end of your career cycle. Maybe there could be something silly like this. Like that. Would you not call an American a Western Yokozuna? European Yokozuna. Maybe that's what you mean. Because I think there definitely have not been European Yokozuna before. You wouldn't call an indigenous Hawaiian an American? It's a little odd to me. Oh, that was the... Western. Strange term to begin with. I mean, if they're born in Japan afterwards, they're Japanese. That's how it works. Unless we're talking about like annexion stuff, cultural appropriation of the sumo culture. But then you just call it something else. I don't. Not really a big fan of, again, tribalism. Okay, I personally don't value something like birth heritage or cultural heritage that highly. It's usually something that you don't have an active part in, but you still kind of are supposed to live your life due to certain standards that brings with it. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like this whole ancestor pride. It's a very, very strange concept to me. But that's kind of what I mean. Like, does it really matter? In the first place, like, I get the negative connotation, of course, that there is some forced assimilation in this discussion as well. That's not a good thing. But at the same time, the people who actively did that, they are long gone. Like everybody could just let go of a lot of things that come with it, unless, which sadly is the American thing, unless it is still somewhat upheld in some form of casual racism in the active society. That's the big US-American problem. But that is born out of exactly what I don't like about it. About this identification with something ancestral that the person claiming things usually has nothing to do with. That's kind of exactly my point, why I think it's not a great thing to have these... Yo, what a song. Yeah, to have these inherited values, so to speak. I mean, in the sumo context, if we're staying in the sumo context, then the thing is that Japan is also a very, very racist country. Like one of the leading racist nationalist countries in the world, even. No, I didn't even realize that, Toste. Nice that you mentioned that. So yes, there are hurdles to overcome, which then if you make it, I think that warrants some kind of personal pride. That's a different story than what I was pulling the conversation into, like the directions I was giving it. I'm sorry for derailing. I have 4 points without paying any attention whatsoever. There was a pretty good anime about sumo a few years ago. I forgot what it was called. I did enjoy that one. Also, Fake Ben, just so you know, I have not forgotten about your recommendation. Dorohedoro is still on my hard drive, waiting to be watched. Just haven't found the right mindset, I suppose, to start that one. I'm not forgetting. Yeah, in Mongolia it has been... Like, there have been Mongolian sumotori for a very long time. Back when I was watching, there were already quite a few. I forgot the name of the funny one. He was a very violent rice thrower, as well as kind of small in stature, very quick. No, Asashoryu is later. I'm talking about even earlier. The one I mean, he never made it past Komuzubi, I think. I think if I hear the name, I will remember, but I don't think it will come to me automatically. Like, this goes back to, I want to say, the mid-90s. I started watching quite early on. He might have been one of the first ones, so maybe you could find him this way. I think he was also the one... Like, do you remember the other big Japanese Hawaiian Ozeki? Konishiki? Like the heaviest sumotori ever? I think there was a very famous fight between him and that Mongolian sumotori. If I remember correctly, that was the pairing. But I know that there are several YouTube channels who cover the tournaments. And I have watched a couple of like the summaries of the tournaments, so to speak. But I just haven't been actively following it anymore at all. Now, if I would just have to see that list and maybe just quickly go over it, and I'm pretty sure the name would jump at me quite quickly. I usually have a decent name memory, so I'm almost surprised that I can't think of it right away. Was it Kyokushu-san? Is that the one? That one popped into my head right now. Kyokushu-san. Oh shit, that wasn't supposed to flip. Possibly. I mean, back in the day they didn't go by full names. Would have just been Kyokushu-san. Is he Mongolian? Was he? Many sumotori sadly don't live a long life. Yeah, that is the one, I think. Highest, yeah, that fits with what I remember. Small stature, like under 100 kilos, I think. Small stature, I say, like for a sumotori. Whew, my I've saved my sumo grace by actually remembering. Yeah, the comparison can be a little stark. But like Kyokushu-san was kind of like a... He was like an anime character, if you will. Never really made it, but had some very big upsets of much bigger fighters. That was the thing that was interesting about him. There's a famous photo of Konishiki at his highest weight at the time, like 280 kilos or something ridiculous. Like he was very, very big. Not the tallest, but just very, very voluminous. And it was a picture of, like, from behind his opponent. And he was just filling out the entire screen, and the smaller opponent in front of him just looked like a child. And I think that might have been Kyokushu-san in that picture, but I'm not sure about that. Oops. Let me check. Yeah, let me see. Deote also wants to. Nope, that's not the picture. No, it was... I don't know what it was. It looked like a Time magazine cover picture. Wait, what's that one now? That is the one. Yes, that's the one. That is exactly the one. That is Konishiki. Never quite made it to Yokozuna. Stayed in Ozeki for the longest time. Lots of like knee problems because of the weight, obviously. Yeah, and he did it for quite a while. I think he started in like the early to mid 80s, probably mid 80s. And I feel like he retired around the time when I was still, what, like mid-end of the 90s. But he was not well, let's put it that way. For the last couple of years of his career, he could barely move. I remember that there was talk about like an honorable Yokozuna title at some point, but then that didn't really... He was also not Japanese, maybe otherwise they would have. But yeah, that never happened, I believe. Also, maybe because there was Akebono, who was also just the more successful version. Only 6? Yeah, I thought it was longer. Interesting. That's probably just my nostalgia kicking in, because I was so invested in it at the time. But I thought it actually was way longer than it actually was. But yeah, I don't think I can ever bring myself to catch up with it again. I think I've been out of it for too long. I don't feel the drive to get back into it. There are very few sports that I would like get back into specifically if I'm not already into them. The couple that I still regularly peruse the news of are snooker, table tennis, sometimes volleyball, like the VNL, the Nations League. And outside of that, it's mostly just the Olympics. Sometimes a little bit of track and field, I have to admit. A little bit of track and field, but also irregularly. Sometimes I just don't watch anything track and field related for a full year sometimes. For me, sumo definitely has this nostalgia factor, because it's the same for snooker actually. This is something that I directly relate to my grandparents. Oh well, not even to my grandparents directly, because they had already died. But we were still, like, we were living in a house, like where basically 2.5 families lived. My parents with their children, including me. Then the cousin of my mom, who couldn't really take care of herself that well, so she was living there as well. And in the basement lived my grandparents. And after they had died in like the early 90s, their apartment was still there, and their TV, and we children always went in there to kind of secretly watch TV. And that was the time of the German reunification. And suddenly there were completely different TV programs like Eurosport. And this very strange, excuse me, very strange sport of sumo wrestling that I had never seen before. So that just stuck with me until today. It's a warm and fuzzy feeling. I guess that's what nostalgia is. He is still active. He recently has started playing pretty much as well as he ever had before. Some very good performances. Still around. A lot of the old guard just don't really want to step down. Like from that same time, John Higgins is still around, Mark Williams. think those are the two oldest names that you might still recognize. Stephen Hendry has not been active since 2006-7-ish, I want to say. He's a commentator now and has basically the most successful snooker-related YouTube channel. It's called Q-Tips. He commentates for ITV, I think. Not for the BBC. And he had a complete change of character, if you will. I don't know if you remember how he used to be, like very standoffish. Not really talking or being friends with other players. Kind of like very, like if you want to accept the concept of introvertedness, kind of like that. But he has become very sociable. Like I like his channel. It's something I watch regularly, basically every video. Yep, that happened. There were some ugly words being said. Like Ronnie O'Sullivan is a loaded character himself. Like he definitely has a lot of personal issues and just is very socially awkward. Just to the extent of like social ineptitude, I would say. There were some choice words being said after that match, or in the general era, about Stephen Hendry's sad little life, and there are quotes from that era pretty much that are not as nice, or not that nice in general, that also make Ronnie O'Sullivan not look very friendly. I mean, depression is in there as well, at some point in his career. Also, daddy issues, all kinds of things that you could attribute parts of his behavior to. If I remember correctly, his father was convicted of murder and spent a lot of time in prison. Yeah. It's the reaction to drugs. I approve. of the reaction. Still no perfect clear in this round. Or session, I guess. Round. It's a strange word for this. But also always have to wait until it accidentally happens. I never learned any setups for perfect clears. Because you can definitely make them more likely. Manslaughter, okay. Thank you. If you translate the term manslaughter into German, it just sounds very wrong. Oops. I guess even the English one, just it just doesn't sound as wrong because it is a fixed term, but it is a weird word. I know, right? That's exactly the thing. Oh, his mom wasn't... I don't remember that. I don't know if I ever knew that. But yeah, kind of troubled past. So you can just take a guess under what circumstances he might have grown up. Seems character formative. Two away from perfect clear. I don't remember if parity prevents one away, or if one away is possible. Let's not get this. Let's not let this get out of hand. It's not that I like that. I do make bad decisions sometimes, yeah. It hasn't been super stressful yet today, luckily. I usually realized quickly enough that I should do something about my stack. I think we've never been more than halfway up today. Which I would say is pretty chill. Like, I want to believe that I have gotten much better in terms of safe stacking than I was a year ago when I tried this for the very first time. I should have much more chill, even in hairy situations. I'm just generally gotten better at flat burning, for example. Just seeing certain solutions that are not your standard stack solutions, but more focused on just safety. Like something like this, for example. Yeah. Slight delayed burn, not necessary, but it gives you time. Because it basically adds a pause because of the line clear. Same here. Like, you're almost guaranteed to have a clear and then another one, which is a setup for like a double delayed burn, if you will. Just gives you time to think. Even though at first it looks like you're needlessly covering the well. But there are certain setups that basically guarantee you, like, no matter what piece comes, you can get some kind of a clear. That then will give you more time to think, to assess the situation. This one is a little bit unlucky. It's like not even halfway up yet. Okay, this one is getting a little bit ugly. Halfway up again. And I'm not planning to get any higher. They're probably all memes. Or maybe it's actually too old. Like, I would be surprised if it went undiscovered by the modern meme culture, because at the time it was a very famous picture. Something like that, yeah. That's a good one. Pretty sure there's a lot of meme potential in a lot of sumo pictures. Oops. Okay, we're reaching 4444. What time is it? 3. I'm probably gonna call it there. Just have to get a prettier setup here. No, I'm not liking this stack. We're going to maybe 5k flat. Has to be a good number. Can't just be something random. I will not accept it. Still not even close to a perfect clear. It's 2 again. Nope, not in this game. I think in some modern Tetris variants there is a point reward, I suppose, for perfect clear, but not in this. It would be cool if there was at least like a special jingle for that. I would like that. But since it is so seemingly, obviously rare, so close here, just not the right setup there. Yeah, since it is obviously quite rare, it just feels good when you get it. Getting very hungry. I haven't made anything. Don't know what do I have that I can prepare quickly? I have some frozen fries in the freezer. Some fish sticks, I suppose. I think that's okay. That's a good late night meal, right? They didn't have my preferred spicy ramen. That would definitely be my first choice otherwise. Same Squirrel, and I didn't remember that this was Jurassic Park. Is this the Super Nintendo version? No, it says... Oh no, it is. It is the Super Nintendo version, of course. And I played this. I played this quite a bit, but I did not remember that this is from that game. It's burned into my brain from having it on my streams so often. What was the gay fish joke? Did I miss that one? I must have missed that one. That doesn't ring any bell. Or is that from a different day? I don't think I watched South Park during an era where Kanye would have been a topic. I only recently watched a couple of episodes because of the Trump mockery. Before that I hadn't seen South Park in probably 15 years. Now I want to know what the joke is. Maybe you'll get it as you post it here. That's how it goes. I want to hear it first. No explaining yet. I want to hear the joke first. Maybe I'm just as dumbfounded. And if you get it wrong, then Squirrel can correct like the important parts or whatever. The thing is, if it has to do anything with the person of Kanye, then I might actually miss it because I have no idea about that guy. The only thing that I know about Kanye West is that he made a collaboration with 30 Seconds to Mars for the song Hurricane. That is the entirety of my knowledge about Kanye West. I don't know graduation, no. That's a meta joke. Hey, I got my bachelor's, just didn't get the master's. Don't make fun of me, Squirrel. Come on. That was still half height. I had to look really closely, but that was exactly half height. No stress. All good. Okay, I'm disappointed with the outcome of the joke reveal. Probably 5,000 flat. I'll see. I just didn't get a nice setup for a pause on 4444. Do you like fish sticks? Oh, is it a joke where I have to play along? Yes, I do. I don't get it. Fish dicks. I got it. I did get it. Fish dicks. I got it. I'm so proud. So incredibly proud. I mean, I already explained it, right? But just pronouncing it out very clearly. Now, fun fact. Fish don't have peenies. Isn't very funny, but it's the truth. Oh wait, Squirrel, were you here earlier for the Metazua quiz? That's something that you will also enjoy. Or do you already know what that is without me having to show you? Remind me in 300 lines. Metazua. Not Metazoa, Metazua. Since I have it all set up already. It's an animal quiz, if you will. And I didn't know of its existence until like half a week ago. And now I love it. I love that it exists. And I love the way it is done. It is very well executed. And I did play around earlier. I'm not sure if there's like a daily challenge or something. So I'm not sure if we were gonna get the same one. 300 more lines is up. 300 more lines. Then we're gonna do some Metazua. Because to be fair, the round that we played was satisfying and not satisfying at the same time, because it was over so quickly. I know there's a practice mode, I just haven't really familiarized myself with the entirety of the site. Kind of, but different. Like, there's no semantic element to it. It is more about the actual taxonomy. You know, it's not a like a grammar version or like a grammatical version of an animal quiz. It's what animal is this? And it tells you the taxonomic relationships. And then you have to go from there. So you have to have, ideally you have a little bit of taxonomic knowledge, which I know that you have. But even if one doesn't, the way it is presented, it actually lets you learn about taxonomy in a playful way, as it should be. It also already showed me a couple of blind spots, or just things that I have forgotten, so to speak, over the years by not using the knowledge. Where can you play it? I mean, Zap, feel free to... Oh, Squirrel, yeah, that one. Already found it. But I think I played what would be considered the daily. And I got it in 4. which is my personal record. I never got it in less than 4. Scramble. What is that? I wasn't really aware of any of these daily puzzle-ish challenges. I don't know what to call those games. Oh wait, Squirrel, you might have... Were you around when I think it was Super Mega Scott. No, Mega Scott? What's his name again? He was the one who recommended in Zap's chat the other day. Maybe you were around there. No, it was... I think it's just Mega Scott. I added the Super because I was thinking of Super Mega Dave, yeah. I conflated the two. I hope they can forgive me if they ever find out. Okay. 200 until Metazua. Actually a pretty ugly setup here. I hope this... okay, this should fix it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. Gotta be careful. Very careful. That is very good. The other recommended daily. You don't understand? I mean, the little info box just tells you the common group of where the secret animal and the animal that you guessed is, like the most common denominator. For example, if you guess butterfly and the searched insect is like some kind of crab, then it will tell you Pancrustacea, most likely, because within the Pancrustaceans there is, at some point there's a split where the crustaceans split off from the insects, the hexapoda, the butterfly. So that is going to be the revealed category, which just means, in that case, choose something that is a crustacean probably, or a different insect. So that's how it reveals itself. It will become clearer the more you guess. Yeah, if Eutheria is there, that is likely a mammal guess. You don't, but it will actually help you if you just guess. And like say it told you Eutheria, then you have some examples right there that give you a rough idea in that little info box. So if you just keep guessing, it's gonna narrow it down depending on what your guess is. Like, you can't do much wrong, pretty much. You will gain information. But as I said earlier, like if you already have a good understanding of taxonomy, that definitely helps tons. But it's not the case that if you don't know anything about taxonomy that you can't play it. I think you can very much still play it and learn something. Now I want to play it again, so I have to play faster. No, I'm not gonna risk anything. No, Ben. Don't worry. If you keep guessing and you're getting close, if you get closer taxonomically, it will make sense, trust me. You might still not know the different groups well, but you will still get closer. So I guess we're doing the Ben thing again now. You win. Okay. Technically I have stacked higher than the middle now. Don't at me. Maybe it'll help if you watch me play. I can try, like, to my best ability to explain along. But it could also get a little embarrassing for me if I don't know certain things that I think I should know. I will bite the bullet. But I already surmised that you are playing the German version, which I think is a good choice, because it does ask trivial names. I probably should theoretically play the German version, but I'm stubborn. Maybe a perfect clear at some point. Maybe. I mean, I think you're doing the same one that I also played earlier. So I already know the solution. I'm not sure how helpful that makes my advice. Not the same one? Maybe it rolled over? I don't know when they roll over to the next supposed daily, as it would be. I was thinking that because whatever you played on streams up was the same one that I had played, like just before that. So there's some cyclical nature to that. Yeah. Making wrong decisions. Okay. 100 more. Come on, just by chance, there must be a perfect clear somewhere hidden here. Give me... Oops. Nice. Funny thing was, I was down to the Janus on my attempt in 3 guesses, and I was a little bit confused. Oh, this is Ori as well. This I recognize from Beat Saber. Or a version of this, I suppose. It's not the exact same. Oh dear, but never change. This is a sketchy decision here. Let's abort right away. That was a good abortion. Best abortion I ever had. It's definitely a different version of the song. I think it comes up several times in different... It's like a motif. It's made into several versions of itself. Why is that 20? I mean, that's just the way it works out. Like, there's some arbitrariness to it that you could argue for, but it's just the extant groups that have survived until the present day. There used to be more. Bryozoa or different kind of animal. Oh, that is a deep question. Like, the species concept is not it is not something that is set in stone. How people define species. There are several species definitions that concur. Well, what's the actual word? That contrast with each other. One common one, but that is also just doesn't cover all cases. One common one is a species is distinct from another species if the members of the species cannot have fertile offspring with the other group. Then those two species or groups, populations, whatever you want to call it, they would be distinct on that definition of the species level. But that is not all encompassing. There are usually no really good definitions. They're just work definitions. Because one example, like a tiger and a lion are classically distinct species, like they're different species. Everybody would think that they are. However, they can have fertile offspring if you breed them. They wouldn't in nature cross each other's paths because they live in different parts of the world. But if you force them or breed them, then the offspring is actually fertile. With usually some what's the word? Like, there can be some problems in terms of the birth itself, depending on who is the dad and who is the mom, just because of size. And generally, those hybrids tend to be a little bigger than average, so can be a little dangerous for the mom while giving birth. But yeah, most species definitions have exceptions. And that's fine. The species concept is a model. Oh, we are past 5,000, I just realized. Because I was yapping. I'm gonna stop it here anyway on a... What is a good number now, though? No, it has to be a good number. It has to go in the title. No, you can go further. Not sure if any of the hybrids is fertile, but some of them definitely are. 5,069. Like I'm almost certain that there have been like further breeds that go further down the line where the lion. Ha, that's funny. Sorry, I found that funny. Where they kept breeding ligers with like a leopard or something. Yeah, what did I expect? I made the joke first. No, now we're going to fight. No, do we? I want to play Metazua now. I can't make a decision. Somebody has to make this decision for me. What should I do? Wait, where are you stuck, squirrel? Liga und Töwe, yes, those are the ones. Liger and Tyan. Janice of what? I think I already, yeah, definitely, I don't think, I definitely forgot how far you got. What did you guess? What did it give you? I can hazard a wild guess. Oh, are you waiting for... I don't understand anymore. So you're thinking I'm gonna get the same thing when I start playing. That could be the case. I'm also assuming it's the same one that fake Ben had. Fraudulent Ben. No hermit crab. Sad. No, you were in Eutheria. Means it's definitely not a hermit crab for sure. Oh, yeah. I guess I could try this. No, but the thing is, I'm titling my YouTube uploads of this by the line count. I mean, it's not a problem, but that would break my convention after only 2 uploads. I'm not that chaotic evil. Yeah, points are completely irrelevant here for this attempt. It's only exclusively about the line count. The max out will happen along the way. I'm not optimizing for that at all. I think my fastest max out was in about 1,800 lines, so that could be achieved much quicker. I'm just playing super safe. Because these attempts take a very, very long time. And you don't want to just randomly lose one. Yeah, no, I couldn't. No, I couldn't. I was asking though, I was signaling that I was unsure. While ignoring the one existing suggestion, I will admit. I'm secretly still holding out for the potential perfect clear. Like, it has to happen, right? At some point? How can it not? This song reminds me of something, but I can't put my finger on what it is. It sounds very familiar. It had a little bit of the one Attack on Titan opening. But I don't think that's what I was thinking of. Maybe it was. Is it just called Jäger? I think it's just called Jäger. Okay, what's a good number here? Don't say 5,169. My non-existent OCD would rebel against that, because then that would have meant I should have used 69 endings for every stopping point this far, which I haven't. I guess I have to go to 5555 now. It's the only option. Wait, what is scrandling? I can't make out what it would be from the word construction. What is that about? Okay. As long as it's not Pokemon, then I will be good. I don't mean it in a bad way, Zaps. Calm down, man! I just don't know anything about Pokemon. I'm too old for Pokemon, believe it or not. Pokemon came to Germany when I was 16. I was way too cool for that children's stuff. That's how it was. Can't lie. I don't get it. It's the second time I say this today. First time I immediately got it after I said that. This time not so sure. It's a little mysterious. Oh no, the Forbidden Tetris. No, Forbidden Tetris. I shan't. Yeah, no, at this point I have to go for all fives. There's no other way. The one thing that worries me is my hunger. Getting the pangs. Not cramps yet. I am very hungry. But I'm playing Tetris. Oh wait, I think I have some sweet gummies. I have them right next to. I have everything here. I am a dummy. I have peanuts. A big pack of peanuts. I will eat it in peace. I feel move higher. Tempting. Also, food comments. Yeah, I think I like 5-2-5. 5-2-2-5. Just gotta stay low and be ready. I did it. Off you go. Okay, let me check